Sometimes the most shocking stories aren't the ones we see, but the ones we're told to forget. On September 10th, 2025, a rally meant to inspire unity became a scene of chaos that stunned America. Charlie Kirk, the polarizing voice of a generation, was gunned down on stage before hundreds of witnesses. Authorities say the killer was 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, quiet, ordinary, and unknown. Within hours, his name flooded headlines, his face plastered across every screen. An open and shut case, they said. But then, things stopped adding up. The gun wasn't registered to him. His so-called confession texts didn't match their timestamps. And buried deep inside, sealed federal documents. Investigators found warnings, sent weeks before the attack, that no one acted on. Please make sure you comment. While listening to this update, we will make sure we respond to everything. That's a proof that we are fighting for justice and what is right. Now, new whistleblower claims suggest Robinson may not have been a lone actor at all, that he may have been used, set up in a web of manipulation, power, and silence stretching far beyond that Utah stage. Because behind the political headlines lies something colder, darker, and far more calculated. A story not just about a murder, but about control. Who wanted Charlie Kirk gone? Who had the power to make it happen and vanish in plain sight? Tonight, we uncover what really happened behind the scenes of the assassination that changed everything, and why some people still don't want this story told. Before we dive into this story, remember, this is Detective Kate, True Crime, a channel that stands for justice and giving every case the attention it deserves. Drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our investigations. And don't forget, share your thoughts and theories below. Every clue counts. Within hours of the shooting, police declared victory. "We have our man," one spokesperson said. The alleged shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, was taken into custody just a few blocks away, dazed, compliant, and eerily silent. Investigators pointed to one weapon, a semi-automatic rifle discovered inside his abandoned vehicle. It was enough to dominate the headlines, but not enough to tell the whole story. Forensics soon uncovered a disturbing detail. The weapon bore two distinct DNA profiles. One matched Robinson, the other, still unidentified, was never publicly explained. Yet, despite this glaring anomaly, officials rushed to frame the narrative. Robinson, a lone radical driven by anger, took the life of one of America's most outspoken conservative voices. But buried beneath the official reports were inconsistencies too large to ignore, conflicting witness statements, surveillance blind spots, and digital data that painted a different picture. As investigators combed through Robinson's personal devices, a series of encrypted chats emerged. Deleted within hours of the shooting, the messages referenced phrases like "the opportunity," "the stage is ready," and "we go when it's loud." They weren't random, they were coordinated. The FBI's cyber unit traced these messages to an encrypted Discord server, with users masked behind foreign VPNs. Moments later, those accounts vanished. Deleted. Wiped clean. What started as a clear-cut arrest was suddenly transforming into something else. A trail of manipulation, precision, and silence. Was Tyler Robinson acting alone, or was he guided, coerced, and used as a pawn in something far more orchestrated? In an exclusive interview, a former federal contractor, identified only as Agent N, has come forward with a chilling account. According to him, months before Charlie Kirk's assassination, an internal threat assessment report flagged an online discussion about a political stage events and a public disruption involving a high-profile speaker. Agent N says he filed multiple alerts through official channels, each one more urgent than the last. But inside the system, his warnings were quietly sidelined. Emails reviewed by journalists suggest his reports were marked low priority, then archived. 3 weeks before the Utah rally, the entire cyber monitoring task force tracking that online network was suddenly reassigned. No explanation given. When the attack happened, Agent N says he recognized details from his own briefings, the venue layout, the timing, even references to the stage. He claims the silence that followed wasn't bureaucratic error. it was deliberate containment. In the days following Charlie Kirk's assassination, the leadership vacuum at Turning Point USA was filled almost immediately. Within 48 hours, Erica Frances Kirk, his widow, assumed the role of CEO and chairwoman. Publicly, the decision was framed as an act of loyalty and continuity, honoring Charlie's private wishes. This is what he wanted, she told supporters at a candlelight vigil. But behind closed doors, the transition raised questions that no one seemed eager to answer. Leaked internal memos, shared among senior staff weeks before the Utah rally, referenced a contingency protocols, a detailed succession plan, outlining leadership shifts in the event of a catastrophic loss. The language was clinical, almost rehearsed. Names, timelines, and media instructions were already in place. For some, it was proof of organizational foresight. For others, it felt uncomfortably predictive, as though someone anticipated what was coming. Sources inside Turning Point, who requested anonymity, described the atmosphere as tense, some calling it too calm for a crisis. One insider told reporters, "It was like they'd practiced this." Still, Erica Kirk continued to project strength, calling for unity and promising to carry forward Charlie's mission without fear. Her leadership solidified fast. Donations surged, operations expanded, and Turning Point's message grew louder than ever. But to those studying the timeline, one question lingers. Was this transition the result of careful planning, or was it the culmination of something planned for them? The cornerstone of the prosecution's case against Tyler Robinson was his alleged confession, a series of text messages sent the night of the rally. Those messages, prosecutors claimed, were Robinson's digital admission of guilt, a confession in his own words. But months into the trial, defense attorneys introduced a revelation that would unravel that narrative. Independent cyber forensics teams discovered inconsistencies hidden in the metadata, mismatched timestamps, altered file origins, and server logs that didn't align with Robinson's known phone activity. One key message, the one prosecutors built their entire confession argument upon, was recorded as being sent at 8:47 p.m. Yet, according to geolocation data from Robinson's mobile provider, his device was powered off at 8:31. Another message, recovered from encrypted backups, showed evidence of manual insertion, meaning it was copied, edited, or injected after the fact, likely from an external source. Cyber analyst Dr. Laura Mendelson called the evidence digitally contaminated, adding, either this was deliberate manipulation or a catastrophic chain of procedural errors. The defense argues it's the former. They claim Robinson was framed, his digital footprint tampered with, to create a story that fit the public narrative. Forensic imagery shown in court revealed what many had long suspected. The texts that condemned him were not all written by his hand. In the end, the case of Charlie Kirk's death became more than a criminal investigation. It became a mirror, reflecting the deep fractures of power, loyalty, and truth in modern America. A young man sits behind bars, branded a killer by the public, yet defended by those who believe he was nothing more than a pawn, caught in a game far beyond his reach. Evidence has vanished. Witnesses have gone silent. Files remain sealed, and every time the truth seems within reach, it slips again into the dark corners of bureaucracy and influence. Was Tyler Robinson truly the assassin, or the sacrifice? Was this tragedy the result of chaos, or careful orchestration? No official statement, no court ruling, and no televised debate has yet answered those questions. Until the day every classified page is unsealed, until the silenced voices are heard, and until the truth is spoken without fear or favor, the death of Charlie Kirk will remain what it has always been, a wound covered by politics, and a story buried in the shadows.